Hi there, my name is Menma. Welcome to my channel where I talk about mental health and what it's like in an African environment. Today I decided for us to do something different, let's stay outside, get some sunlight and have a type of conversational type of discussion on today's topic. So today's topic is actually something that I believe that in one way or the other, all of us can relate to it. We felt it, it's something that you feel this way because something must have triggered it or caused it during the course of your life. And it's something that we want to discuss to actually find out different ways that can cause it and the way that if we don't handle it, how we can actually transfer it on to the next generation unconsciously. Being insecure is just like saying you don't feel good about yourself, you have low self-esteem, you feel not good enough, you feel you are in a competition with another person or other people and you rank the lowest because you haven't obtained the things they have, you don't have their status, you don't have their beauty. You just feel like when you walk into a room, no one is going to notice you because there's nothing to notice about you. Being insecure, it comes in different ways because we can exhibit different actions when we are insecure. So we can exhibit jealousy, we can exhibit overconfidence, we have this fake presence of ourselves where we are this, we are that, we are big and huge, but we actually aren't any of that. But then we just try to bring this image of ourselves where people would think that we are that, so as to make us feel among when deep down we don't even feel like equals, we feel less than. We can feel shy, we can feel like we cannot provide anything at all, we can't provide anything to anyone, we can't be of value to anybody around us. It's best for us to just blend with the environment and just disappear, that kind of thing. So some of the things that can actually lead insecurity is, number one, the way adults, mostly parents or teachers, the way they talk to younger children. So it's something that you can come across anywhere, any type of setting. Kids, their brains are like sponges, so they easily absorb the type of information that comes their way. So if you are the type of person that you're raining abuses on them, negative comments on them, oh, you won't amount to anything, you're not good enough, you're not smart, you're dumb, you're ugly, all those type of things, they store up, you get? They pick that thing and they actually believe it and it stores up. And the more they grow, subconsciously they tell themselves that, oh, I'm not good enough, I'm not going to amount to anything. You have to actually be very sensitive, especially when you play a critical role in the upbringing of children, as parents, as teachers. We should be careful. Honestly, I know it's not easy being a parent, it's not easy being a teacher, all of that, but being an adult, really, because a lot of us, we are still struggling to understand what adulthood is all about since there's no manual for it. But we should try to be conscious so that we don't end up giving back to the next generation, the things that we carried on, the things that we learned. And this goes for me, this goes for everyone. Honestly, we shouldn't pass it on because it's something that was passed on to us. We should learn the difference between correcting someone and punishing someone. This thing actually, it shapes someone's character along the line. Let's say that someone did something that, it's something worthy of being corrected, and you do that. When the person picks from that, when the person learns from that, it actually boosts the person's confidence along the line, knowing that, oh, this was something wrong, this was a mistake they made, and they accept accountability and responsibility over it, and they would try to teach it to the next person to not do this. You can find yourself in a situation, in a setting where nobody is being negative to you, you have a supportive family, friends, everything is really nice and all, but then because of the way society constantly feeds into us to have a certain image as an individual, you must be pretty, you must be slim, you must be light-skinned, all of that. Because of that, we can actually put ourselves in positions where we now pressure ourselves, we now compare ourselves with others that we feel are better than us, and then we now start nitpicking at our flaws, and we will drag ourselves down to the lowest level and put ourselves in a position where we feel we cannot match up with others or with whoever it is we're comparing with. So comparison is something that also brings about insecurity. Another good cause of insecurity is the fear of failure. Now, when we find ourselves in a setting where everyone sees us as you're like a prime student, you're like top at your job and what you do, you have the best advice, all of that, you have the best life and all of that. Like when we see ourselves being held in a particular standard, we get scared of what will happen when we would lose that image that we are seeing and when we lose that standard. And because of that, we get fearful to aim higher. We get fearful to like want to do things better or do things differently. We have this mentality where I rather not go ahead, I rather not do anything further than to fail in this situation. Another thing about failure is when you do find yourself doing your best and still not getting any reasonable results, you're still failing. It demoralizes you, it gets you down, and it makes you give up. It makes you run away, like you don't want to do this again because things got tough and it was just nasty. And it's something that you can't keep running away just because things didn't work out the first 10, 20 times. That is failure for you. Like, failure has a time when it's like, okay, do you know what? You're not going to get this today, you're not going to get this tomorrow, but I want to see how persistent you can be. I want to see how patient you can be working with this thing. And this is what we learn. This is part of the learning experiences. We have many successful people out there that will tell us their stories of how they got rejected 1,000 times, how they failed this, how they did that, how many times, but still we hear their names today because they didn't give up. You get? That is what failure offers us. It offers us like knowledge, it offers us experience, it gives us the opportunity to look at ourselves like in the mirror and see that we are not there yet, but then we shouldn't stop aiming to be where we want to be. We don't talk about this enough. Failure shouldn't be something that should be looked down upon as a huge disappointment or a huge disgrace or whatever. It should be looked at as a learning experience. And honestly, that is easier said than done, because when it hits, it hits. Like, failure hurts, it sucks, you cry your eyes out, trust me. But that's just part of what it is to be a human being, because you cannot get everything 100%. You lose some, you win some. You just have to keep going with it. All these things are actually interrelated, like they're intertwined, but we're just trying to like mention them out one after the other. WWPS. What will people say? You want to do something different, like you want to try something new or explore another area of yourself that you haven't before. There's always that fear of people looking at you differently. There's that fear of, would you still be accepted for doing what it is that you wanted to do? And by the time you start pondering on that and it starts like getting you down mood-wise, emotionally, you just see that, you know what, I'd rather not go into this because it's just going to be a mess up. Like, it's just not going to be nice, it won't be cool, and the best thing I can do for myself is just to like shift. When you shift away from one scenario, like when you see yourself as inadequate or not good enough for something, the truth of the fact is you would keep stepping away from different opportunities because of this same reason. You would end up doing it for maybe a job position or promotion, you end up doing it for a relationship reason, you end up doing, like, you will keep doing it. You keep finding yourself living a life of, I rather not do this because of what will people say. And it's something that it is going to affect you, it is going to eat into your life, it is going to drain you. Yes, this causes insecurity in your life, the fear of what will people say. It starts from you and I, like me and you. Yeah, it starts from us, the way we speak to others, both young and old, like the type of energy we throw out to people. We should just try. It's not easy, but it's something that we have to do. Mindful practices, the way we speak to ourselves, the way we speak to ourselves, the way we speak to ourselves, the way we speak to children, the way we speak to adults, the way we speak to our age mates, everyone. Honestly, we should just try to be a lot more careful. Honestly speaking, like, someone can be having a tough day and you just coming out of nowhere to just tell them something ridiculous can just make their day tougher for no reason. Another thing you can try to do is, this is from the perspective of a Christian, you can try to pray about it, just go into prayers, how you don't like the way you feel about yourself and the way you feel low and not good enough. Just pray for grace, pray for contentment, pray for peace, And yes, this thing helps. Like sometimes one thing about prayer is that it's not necessarily what you pray about, it's more of the act of praying. There's just something about like just having a conversation, honestly, even if it seems like it's with yourself, just like saying things out that have been deep in your chest, it's relieving. It takes out a lot like of all that air from within us. Now, like I said, the way you speak to yourself matters. Like the type of thought or the type of words, the words you speak to yourself, it genuinely matters. So another thing you can do is speaking positive things to yourself, like assuring yourself that you are worth it, you are valid, you are amazing, you are spectacular. Honestly speaking, it is beautiful when you can stand for yourself when no one else is standing for you. It is honestly something that is wonderful, because that thing, it takes a lot. It takes courage. It takes, like, you see the worth in yourself even when others don't. So when you make it like a deal, when you make it an effort to stand by yourself and just be like, oh, I look good today, yeah, I solved that question, I'm smart. I'm smart. You know, when you do those type of things, like, it's good. Speak to yourself, speak positive things to yourself. Try as much as you can to not feed into that negative energy, those negative thoughts. Try as much as you can to like combat it and be like, no, today is going to be a good day. Like, I am a winner. Yes, this is me speaking that I am full of good things and I'm going to blow my own mind with how amazing I am. I didn't say you should not go and be egoistic, you know, that's a very different thing entirely. What I'm just trying to say is be positive to yourself. It helps, you know. Another thing is having a supportive environment around you, like your family, your friends. They motivating you, pushing you, encouraging you. It's honestly, it helps relieve the load that you carry. It helps, makes you like, it assures you that you have a family. Like, family mustn't just be your blood. It assures you that you have a group of people that support you, love and cherish you, and they would want nothing but the best for you. So having that, being that for another person, creating that environment for people, all of it helps in managing like our insecurity. And yes, we are a growing, strong community. That's what this channel is for. When we talk about mental health, honestly speaking, like, it's a safe space. We can just come together and just be like, I don't feel like it today, you know, and that's okay. We'll hear you out, we'll discuss it together, and we'll know, like, after the discussion, if you can feel like it today, or if not, no problem. Tomorrow is a new day, start again. Please do let me know in the comment section down below what it is that you want us to discuss about, what it is that you're going through that you feel like you're not sure. If you're the only one experiencing it and you want to know, like, you can just raise topics and I'll look into it and I'll share it with us, and feel comfortable, feel at home. This is your home. Another thing you can try is to be productive, or do the things that you like. Really, actually do the things that you feel comfortable with. If it's to be productive, you tap into it, and it just helps to take out your mind from whatever it is that you're feeling, or whatever the negative energy that's been coming your way, things you've been hearing. When you just try to like focus on what makes you happy and what makes you comfortable, like, you go for it, and it will help you. It will take your mind away from all of the noise, and it will just tailor you down to feeling at peace and at home with yourself and where you are. So this is, you know, the few things that I could talk about concerning insecurity, and, you know, what makes us feel insecure, how we can kind of combat it or manage it. And yeah, I do hope that this was helpful to someone, anyone out there. I hope you enjoy my videos. I hope you do like, subscribe, join the family, you know, comment, share, all of that. Like, let's build this community. Let's build this community. Let's create these conversations. Let's have these topics. Let's feel safe here. So I do hope you stick around. Thank you for joining me on today's video. I mean, the weather, I don't know. It was a challenge making this video, because almost every day it was raining. Every single day, it was raining. But today that I was able to like come outside, I'm grateful for that, and I just hope that I can still be making videos regardless of whatever the weather thinks it can do. So bye for now. See you next time. Thank you for joining me. Bye.